is Luis Escobedo. I am studying a master in AI. I am from the Universidad InterNaciones in Guatemala. Today I'm going to talk to you about AI teacher using a VRMR environment for greater student interaction and immersion. Uh, First, we have to have is a historical context to position ourselves from where we were and how we are now. Uh, when the first human start to get knowledge, they prefer to restrict that knowledge only to the people they were close to or they were inherited, so they could get an advantage over the rest of the population. But with the growth of societies, that individualism was it came to light that it was better that the most people to get the knowledge so they could expand this thanks to the background and the diverse of the background and the diverse ideas. Now, with the invention of the internet, that knowledge anyone in the world could get that knowledge. But the one of the most uh, difficult with the internet is that there's a lot of knowledge and all is true. There's full of misinformation, fake news, and or things like that. Uh, but with the introduction of an AI teacher, we can restrict the approved knowledge and teach it in a high level education to the future generations. Uh, First, how we will for that we need to interact with the AI system. How we will do it? Uh, for interaction, we need to listen. The system had to answer back. That will be the difference with the traditional education system, like because in a traditional education system, the system can answer the question of the students. For that kind of interaction, we will use a NLP. What's an NLP? An NLP stands for natural language process. Uh, and natural language process is basically a conversation system. I know that everyone has a little skill about ChatGPT from OpenAI. With with NLP, we can train with the language we want to impart. Uh, it can answer with factual information if we train. Uh, but to have a communication, we need to student to talk to the system. For that, we will need a speech to text. So the student, everything the student saying, it will be translated to text for the NLP to analyze and answer back. And for the answer back, we will use a text-to-speech system. The text-to-speech system is basically the opposite to a speech-to-text. With a text-to-speech system, we call uh, use an avatar to talk to the students the answer. But what we would do with hearing impaired persons, uh, we could train two neural networks to understand the the sign language of the students. Uh, One for the actual signs, like it's raining or boo or that kind of signs, and the other because the with the face expression, because the expression in the sign language is important because it marks the tone of the message. Uh, and then we will need one neural network for the expression and the other for the sign language. Uh, how will the system will answer back? It could answer with using of mockups. Mockups stands for motion capture. Motion capture could be translated to the, let's say, designs of the system, but how will that system work with the NLP? The NLP, let's say, the students do design terrain, and designs to the expression in angry, and then the what the NLP will receive will be something like it's raining in angry tone, and then it will answer back with yeah, it's raining in concerned tone, and that all will be possible thanks to the mockups that will be controlled to with a neural network. The learning curve is essential for a system like this. What is a learning curve? The learning curve is how the student is understanding the topic we are teaching. Uh, it can be influenced by factors like motivation, environment, or even teaching methods. With a learning curve, we could tailor the education of each student to what they need. A student may need a special help with a topic like maths, or or uh, or kind of topics. But thanks to the learning curve, they could receive exactly what they need, not what the teacher think they need. Uh, to teach, to exemplize it, I will use some cases where AI system could be used. A history course, for example. First, the student will have to grab their AI VR headsets and enter the history course. Then the students will be guided by the AI teacher in the street, let's say Asian Rome. We could even combine several courses in one. We could go teach the history of Rome while teaching about the architecture and the physics behind something like the aqueducts or the buildings or the columns. And the students could actually see everything and not just have to imagine, but actually walk in the street of ancient Rome while learning history. That will be like playing a video game, which make the student more patient to understand the subject. Or we could use in a case like physics course, we could invite Newton's and representation of Newton's and and have him teach the history laws with practical examples where about how those laws works. Uh, and thanks to the learning curve, we could give each student the exercise they need and they can resolve, and not have uh, even for better students, we could tailor the education to keep challenging them and make them more difficult problems to solve. But for let's say a student that physics course could be more difficult for them, we could tailor the education to make them understand use what they can't. In another course, we could even have two kind of course. Let's say we could teach about the human body for kids with cartoons and representation of the different part of the body. And for medical students, we could teach something much more technical, like the student could actually see the heart and and understand how the different uh, sickness, different disease affect the human body. Just an example, or with a painting course, we could uh, uh, make the students uh, use a virtual canvas to paint with the needs to expend $1,000 in materials. And we could even train the teacher with neural networks to identify the technical aspect. We can measure art, but we can measure technical aspect of the art. So the AI teacher could learn to uh, know what's technical, but painting, for saying something. Um Benefit to education. One of the benefits of education is that if we combine things like data science techniques, we could even tailor a possible future for the student. We could identify uh, certain characters than early in their student life. Something like someone could be good at engineering, but have bad grades at math, but maybe he has to start thinking all the correct ingredients uh, for engineering life, but he only needs a little more help in maths. We can even share these results with the parents and the students to help them decide in a future careers and early life that and that could help with the frustration of students when they are teaching a career in life. I don't say we have to force the students to choose the path we are giving, but we can help them. Uh, Another problem we could solve thanks to an AI teacher education is a problem like remote education. That is really uh, hard when the teacher doesn't have the context. Like it happened with the COVID-19 pandemic, where the teacher didn't have the experience and they didn't knew what they're doing. So in any case where we need to take to fix or improvise with any situation, we could do it easily with an AI teacher. Uh, for the economic cost, it would be a great expense designing the course um, and testing them and creating them. But at the long term, we would save a lot of money on uh, human resources, but uh, about that I will talk later. Human resources. We could have the best teacher with for the most of the people. They won't have to spend $1,000 in the best education because they could have it. We could democratize the education for the most of the people have the best education that they that otherwise they could not get. Uh, but like everything, you have to think about the ethical implication in an AI teacher. The first and most obviously will be job displacement. Thousand. 100 people will lost their jobs. The potential misuse. For example, I don't want to uh, talk about politics or any country in specific, but a country like North Korea could use a system like this to uh, train the populations and early in life, uh, or impose the ideas to the students, force them, let's say, program the people from program their students. Another risk we will have with this kind of technology is imagine if someone hack the system. What would we do if we didn't see that uh, they they are um, giving false information to the students to affect them? Could we actually detect that kind of problems? And then there is the AI limitation, the lack of strategic thinking and creativity in AI could restrict some students to to give them the uh, to have them grow even beyond what we are teaching them. Uh, and there are a lot of other problems that could, an ethical implication, we have to think as society, but each country will have to think in what will they do to fix this problem, how they will, how will, how, what will they permit and what wants. In conclusion, the summary of benefit enhances of accessibility and personalization, long-term cost efficiency, potential to revolutionize education globally. And future consideration, there, there are a lot of future consideration we have to think before implementing a system like this. Uh, Thank you for your time. I will answer any question you may have.